Hello everyone, this is Agamemnon for SC2 Mistakes here, bringing you a new game. We're going to be focusing on the Marine Rush, and this first game obviously is going to be a mistake, or many mistakes, that we'll be able to learn from. Don't forget, when you come to SC2 Mistakes, you get to learn from our mistakes. Now today we have two players. We have Odayin in the top right. Let's put on the everyone cam. Odayin in the top right, and in the top left, Mixcoatl. I think both of these names are like North American Indian. I think Odayin is a North American Indian name, and I think Coatl is like Mexican North American Indian or something. Anyway, I don't think it's going to affect their gameplay very much, but just in case you guys were wondering. Okay, so again, we're focusing on a Marine Rush. Odayin is trying this out for his first time on the ladder, and we see his little scout going out here. I'd like you to watch something though with regard to his scouting. This is one of the first mistakes I'd like to focus on. So you notice you've got a rally point into the base, and then he calls him back out. So the whole point of this scout here, in Odayin's mind, is basically just to find out where his opponent is. But let's think for a moment. Let's just get off of him. Let's think for a moment if instead of running away right away, what if Odayin had let that SCV go, let's see, can I do it? No, I can't really. Go in circles around the base, right? I'll tell you guys a really easy way to do this actually. Once you get your scout inside, press the R button for patrol if you're on grid, which I hope you are. Then so press R, hit shift, and then right click. I think it's right click. It might be left click. Right or left click multiple times all around your opponent's base. And then what'll happen is you can just actually forget about it, go back to your base, and that guy will just patrol all around the enemy's base for you. Okay, so let's take a look here. We've got two barracks being made. So get the unit tab. Notice that Odayin actually only has 9 SCVs. So I might like to see one or two more, I think, out for this, but I know that part of the Marine Rush is actually cutting workers. I want to just pause here for 1 second. This rally point, do you notice out of the two barracks? I'll just click on those here. See how the rally point is put into the middle of the base? This is really not a good idea. I understand that for many people the problem becomes when you have a wall off at your choke, and you set, for example, you say, okay, this guy, I want you to go right here, right to this spot. And sometimes it seems like your Marines or Marauders will pop out actually in front of your barracks, right on the ramp, and that's really irritating. So here's a little trick. If you do not want them to pop out in front of your barracks, select your barracks, and then hold shift and right click, say back like where you have it here if you want, or maybe just like right here. So shift right click and then right click to where you want them to be ultimately. So what will happen is out of these two barracks, they will immediately rally out to the spot that you've chosen here, and then because you've done that shift click, they will then go down to the spot you'd want them to be. The reason why this is such a bad location for your Marines at the back is because if you get any pressure in the front, you then have to grab them and bring them down here so that they can attack. Much better to have them, for example, here so that they catch any that are walking by, or perhaps very close to your supply depot right here. But please don't rally your units out into the middle of your base. Have them ready so that they can automatically attack. Okay, let's continue. What else? Oh, the other thing. So here we're going to see Odayin take these two, and he's actually going to start moving out into the middle of the map to a rally point that might be now set. Let's take a look. Yeah. So we set this rally point up here. Now, for your initial attack, this kind of rally point really doesn't help, because you're not going to attack until you get a critical number of units anyway, right? So that means you have to wait for the last unit to show up in this location, then you can attack. So actually you don't save any time. You might as well just build up your units here back in your base, and when you hit that magic number, we're going to say 10. When you hit that magic number 10, then you move everything out and attack. And that way you have them back in your base in case you need to defend. Alright, now this is going to be really premature. I think he's attacking with, looks like... Now let's see what happens. Doing a little damage. Go Marines go. Go Marines go. Take out that supply depot. So obviously this guy's been caught off guard, but here come the troops. Alright, so let's just zoom up. Let's look at the army tab. So Odayin is ahead, but that's because these guys are still on their way, right? So notice that attacking with such a small number is really not effective because you just can't break through this wall fast enough, right? So again, we're going to say that the magic number for the Marine rush is 10 Marines. The other thing that we want to try and do is get those 10 Marines. If you can get those 10 Marines done at 5 minutes, then you attack. Let's take a look at attack number 2. Here it comes. Let's take a look. Run up the ramp. Take out the supply depot. So now the army tab is still in Odayin's favor. But look how hard it is to break through this wall. Not enough. There's only 5 here. And he has to retreat. So again, we want to try and see if we can get 10 before we even attack. Also at this time, I think... what we actually missed, I'm just going to pause for a quick second. Back at about... Here it is. Let's just go back for a second. Well, no. It's okay. It's no point. At around the 5-minute mark, actually Odayin got supply blocked. So, again, if you guys notice that your supply is getting up to around, 15 out of 19, then drop that supply depot. Even if it means that you can't build another barracks in time, put down that supply depot because there's no point in having an extra barracks and then getting supply blocked. For the 10 Marine attack, I think you only need 3 barracks and 2 supply depots initially, and an orbital command so that you can mule. And you're going to obviously cut workers. Okay. And actually, I'm going to talk for a really brief moment. Once this is done, we're going to watch another couple attacks. I'm going to hit pause, speed up a little bit. I'm going to talk, once this game is over, about the viability of rushing and the idea of cheese and whether or not you guys should be using it in your games. Again, remember, we're watching bronze level play. For example, Odayin is 37th ranked bronze at this time. And Mixcoatl is actually a very high level bronze. He's 3rd ranked actually in his league. 3rd ranked bronze. So here comes another attack. Let's see how this one does. Now he's got a good number here. Let's watch. So attacking the supply depot, that's a great idea. And when the supply depot goes down, or it won't go down yet, it's burning. Perfect. Supply depot is down, we can start moving into the base. Look at that army tab. Odayin's killing him, right? Chase, chase, chase. Okay, now here's a point where a little decision making might have helped. We've got such a disparity between the armies. Odayin's definitely winning. And check this out. These guys are sitting here not helping at all. What if those were brought in at this exact moment, and instead of focusing on buildings, these 5 or 6 could be focused on getting rid of these Marines and then taking out these SCVs. So, in any rush, generally in any rush I'd say, one of your first priorities is workers. Because you cannot maintain a rush forever. A rush will only last for the initial couple attacks maybe, and you're hoping that if you don't win, at least you can take out his economy, so that you can then transition into another game. And again, I want to mention, because these guys are sitting here, watch the minimap. Hey guys, let's just make sure we're keeping our eyes on the minimap. If you see a clump like this, even if it means for that 1 second you take your eyes off of your army, go back, grab those guys, and reinforce. All this time they've been sitting here doing absolutely nothing. But I do want you to note that despite the fact that Odayin didn't use 10 for the initial attack, it took him a couple times, but he got in, right? And he could have done a lot of damage and could have really hurt Mixcoatl's economy. So we're just going to speed it up here. We're going to watch what happens here. Oh, getting hit by the tank. Boom. Oh, too bad. So this attack is over, as you can see. Okay, very good. So I'm just going to speed this up, ×2. And I just want to mention a couple things. So realizing that this is a rush play, we saw a bit of some mistakes in this game. Should you do rushes? That's always a question, right? So people will say, "Oh, you shouldn't rush. It's cheese. You should just learn to play a good, long, solid game." And I understand that. I think that's true to a certain extent. But in the bronze leagues, or the lower level of play, rushes actually are something that you're going to encounter quite a bit. So learning how to do it yourself will also help you learn how to defend against one. Take a look, and I want to pause right here. Let's take a look at the time, guys. 12 minutes and 21 seconds. Between 12 minutes and 14 minutes, you know, like that kind of time period, you can always expect that a Terran is able to start doing drops. So if you get to the point in a game when, for example, at the 12-minute mark, you've been aggressive and it's not working, boy, you better not be away from your base. And let's watch what happens. And this is why. Okay, so we've got our dropship? Medevac. Got our medevac out, healing. It's going to pick up. Okay, stop healing, time to attack. Go attack. Go forth, Mixcoatl. And I think Odayin's at the front door, but those tanks are just going to rip them apart. Here we go. So here goes the medevac. Again, we're at around the 13-minute mark. Drop. And Mixcoatl knows that he has nothing to worry about because he has his front door blocked up with tanks, and Odayin's army is completely out of position, right? A couple more seconds, guys. I'm going to speed this up. And we're going to see a GG. Oh, bailed out from the SCVs. How lame. And game over. Okay, so a couple things. Let's just go really quickly over some mistakes that we saw. One thing that we actually missed that I want to mention is that Odayin in this game, he actually built a supply depot on 7. So that means he only built one SCV, then waited, and then built a supply depot. So ideally we'd like to see supply depots being built after you've made at least 2 SCVs. So make, 2 SCVs and then make that supply depot and then keep going. The other thing was the scout. We noticed that the only thing the scout did was go and find out where the opponent was. We'd like to see you maybe try and use the shift patrol command, where you make multiple points around the base with your patrol button. And that way you can forget about it, but he'll stay alive for quite a while generally. What else? I think those rally points were at the beginning of the game were unnecessary. Keep them at your base until you get to the magic number you want to attack with, and then move out. I think that's about it. So we're going to go on to the next game, and what we're going to do is at the beginning of the next game we're going to discuss. Remember we mentioned a little bit about cheese and about rushes, whether or not you should use them in your game, and so we're going to start off our next video with that topic, and then we're going to watch Odayin use the Marine Rush to win. So hang in there, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.